Hello and welcome back to the 2006 season of the Monsters of Destruction. I'm Kevin Hynes. This week we're back in Cottage Grove, Oregon for round number 10, where Lindsey Wink came out in round number 9 of the Checker Shucks and Tragan Iron Outlaw and dominated that event. We're looking for a great victory and a great run by the Iron Outlaw out there tonight, as well as several of our other competitors. Let's get things started.
Nothing's going to change here as far as the level of competitiveness. The course is really out there.
We're here to put the Fab Tech Obsession as far down the ladder as we can.
So you got to get back down on your wheels so you can get a good run for the cars. If you get that good run in between, that's where the time's made.
The name of the game is to go out there and make more money, so that's what we're shooting for.
We're just going to try to get through it and see how the chips fall.
You can't take nothing away from any one of these guys, so you've got to be on your game to get anywhere in this race.
Wade, up to you.
It's a great day for monster truck racing here in Cottage Grove, Oregon. This is round 10 of Monsters of Destruction. Before we get started, let's talk to some of tonight's drivers.
All right, we're back out here with Jimmy Cretin and the Bounty Hunter. Now, Jimmy, you came out here in round number 9. You put on a good showing. You also spun one of the fastest donuts I had ever seen in freestyle. Tell me a little bit about that.
About the donut? Yeah, well, Bounty's got a locker. It's got a big rear end in it. It can handle the high-speed donuts, and it's got a special front end also made by Dan Patrick. Samson, the other truck that's here, it helps keep the oil in by the differential, so when we're spinning those fast speeds, all the oil's staying in there on the spider gear so we don't gall them up. So as long as I don't get too dizzy, it'll keep spinning.
All right, down here with Rick Swanson for round number 10. We're back in Cottage Grove, Oregon. The track is a little bit different out there tonight where they filled in some of the hard spots that were out here for round number 9. What do you think?
Well, what they did is they've changed it. We're not motorcycles, and they had a step up, step down that was just a little too short for these. If it would have been another 20 feet longer last night, it would have been perfect. Unfortunately, you're talking another 40 feet of total dirt, and that's quite a bit of moving dirt.
All right, we're down here with Dan Patrick and Samson. We're out here for round number 10 back in Cottage Grove, Oregon. Now, the track's a little bit different out there. The roller's set a little bit farther apart for obstacle course. What do you think that's going to do to your driving style out here?
Well, we'll see. Last night, or the last round, we were lucky. We're in the third pair, so we got to see the guys ahead of me run. So we found out that had to be a balls out, get after it kind of a course. Well, after some complaints and stuff, they've softened it up a little bit. So it's going to be a roller tonight. There's just no way, unless somebody ahead of me tries it and I see how the outcome is for them. I don't know if it's a Matic kind of a course like it was, in the last rounds.
Here are our standings after 9 rounds. Craig Christensen and Rick Swanson tied on top of the leaderboard with 168 points. Dan Patrick in third, just 1 point behind. Dan Runty and Paul Jensen. Then you see Kelvin Raymer, Rick Long, Lindsey Wink, Matt Powers, and Brad Campbell. The obstacle course standings look like this. Rick Swanson on top of the Obsession, followed by Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer, Dan Patrick, Dan Runty, Paul Jensen and Spider-Man, and rounding out the top 10, it's Kelvin Raymer, Rick Long, Jason Grill, Lindsey Wink, and Matt Powers and Shattered. We move on now to qualifying here in round 10 from Cottage Grove, Oregon. There's Rick Swanson in the number 95 Obsession truck. He will be racing alongside Dave Harkey and Bigfoot. I'm Wade Sherman, and joining me here tonight for round 10 is Kevin Hynes and Frank Scattini. How you doing, guys?
Great, Wade. Now let's take a look at qualifying. This is kind of going to give us a little premonition of racing action out here tonight. It looks like Obsession going to run with a faster time of 5.967 versus Bigfoot 6.074, and it looks like you might have a little bit of a repeat of round number 9 coming on, Wade.
Now that was puzzling because it looked like Swanson really bobbled over that tabletop, gathered it up, and got ahead of Bigfoot. Bigfoot took the round off, I think. I don't know what was up there.
He's got a lot coming, and Harkey is just getting it dialed in. It's his first time out in the Monsters of Destruction Tour for 9 and 10. Here we go back to qualifying. Cretin in the Bounty Hunter launching off of that final jump, and Even in qualifying, they get booking down that straightaway with a 5.477.
That's a good time for Cretan, but he didn't really stick the landing there, as they say in gymnastics. Didn't approach that last jump very well, and he got out of shape. He's going to have to clean that up if he wants to win in straight line drag, to be sure. Here's Iron Outlaw now, Lindsey Wink. He'll be racing alongside Dan Patrick and Sampson. Looks like a good start for Sampson. He's got the momentum. He's definitely the faster truck here. Patrick bounces across the line with a time of 5.479. Iron Outlaw checks in at 5.884.
And that was a very quick time. It looks like Sampson is coming out strong. Here we are to the second half of qualifying as the drivers go to the opposing lanes and take another run. Dave Harkey in the 84 Bigfoot is going to go back up against Rick Swanson in the number 95 Obsession. This is going to be for lane choice when they come out during heat race action. Now here they come. Look at this. Obsession is off and running right off the bat, and it looks like it might be a repeat there as well. Obsession in both lanes with the faster time, now with a 5.642 versus Bigfoot's 6.142.
Yeah, Swanson definitely looking good in Obsession. Bigfoot having some speed problems here tonight. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Maybe Dave just saving that truck for the actual racing, because Bigfoot is always there when it comes to winning time, right, Frank?
Yeah, he's a top competitor as usual. He always pushes hard. What's going on with his truck right now, I'm not quite sure.
So here's Natural High and Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter fast again. Natural High, all kinds of problems. He will post a time of 9.79. Bounty Hunter pretty quick at 5.959.
And it almost looked like he was trying to weave out of the way as Kelvin Raymer almost crossed lanes there. So let's go back to our final round of qualifying here. Lindsey Wink in the Iron Outlaw, the partner CSK truck to the Bounty Hunter that we just saw. Sampson, that is Dan Patrick out of Circleville, Ohio. Now here they go, just ready to go green as they come across the line. Let's take a look.
Sampson was fast in the first round, Kevin. He's looking pretty fast here. Gets over the tabletop well. He's screaming across the line. Look at the distance on that jump. 5.465. That is top qualifier tonight. Sampson takes the pole position.
That is going to do it for him. And let's take a look at our qualifying times. Dan Patrick, of course, the fastest with a 5.465, followed by Jimmy Cretan, Rick Swanson, Kelvin Raymer, and Lindsey Wink. Rounding out the top 6 is going to be Dave Harkey in the Bigfoot with a 6.074. Let's move into straight line drag action now. It's heat number 1. It's Lindsey Wink in the Iron Outlaw. He is going to go up against, that's right, none other than the Bounty Hunter, his partner truck. This should be interesting, Wade.
Yeah, they're going to have to play a little game here. These guys know that they've got the same equipment under them. I always like Jimmy Cretan, but Iron Outlaw, he's been tough lately. This is a close range. 5.5.2 for Bounty Hunter. Iron Outlaw just a tick behind at 5.674.
Now, Frank, we were talking back in round number 9 out here in Cottage Grove, Oregon, as well as how Lindsey Wink likes to come back as a fast loser in the Iron Outlaw. It looks like he might that might be his only shot out here tonight.
He does that. He just comes out of the blue in this fast loser round, and he comes back and beats you when you're looking the other direction. I don't know what it is, but hey, it's a talent he's got.
That's the way it went in round 9. Iron Outlaw came back to win from being the fast loser. He was given a second chance and took full advantage of it. There you see the reaction times. Jimmy Cretan a little quicker off the green, but Iron Outlaw, pretty good run. Both trucks very evenly matched. And there you see him fly across the timing line. Bounty Hunter will advance. We'll be back with 2 more heats after these words on MOD.
Monsters of Destruction on the Outdoor Channel is brought to you by AmeriGas, America's propane company. Back with more after these words.
Welcome back to Cottage Grove, Oregon. This is round 10 of Monsters of Destruction action here on the Outdoor Channel. We're in the middle of straight line drag heats, getting ready for heat number 2 that'll feature Rick Swanson in the Obsession truck going up against Kelvin Raymer in Natural High. And you got to give the advantage to Swanson on paper here, guys.
That's right. Swanson, over the course of the last couple rounds, has proven very, very competitive out here in the straight line drags. He's got the truck dialed in. Here we go as we go green. There you see Swanson launching a little bit farther off the jump. They've got the power to the ground. This is going to be close right down to the end. And look at the Natural High with a 5.983 is going to advance to, holy cow, he's going to the big show, Wade.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an upset, but we talked about it in round 9. Kelvin Raymer, I think he changed the setup of this truck. He was dialed in for freestyle, getting a lot of big air, a lot of slap wheelies, but he's done something, Frank, to this truck that makes it go a little faster in straight line drag competition.
Great hit right off the line there, real quick. He beat Rick off the line. His truck stuck to the ground, and then he just powered on through and beat Rick fair and square.
A lot of time in the air, but moving forward, not high. So kept his forward momentum and beat Swanson to the line. Obsession is eliminated. Tough break for him, but Kelvin Raymer, a big chance here to make a statement in Cottage Grove, Oregon.
So here we are, Bounty Hunter and Natural High, both going to go up against each other in the semifinals. They're both advancing. Samson and Bigfoot are up next for our third heat race here, Wade.
Yeah, both of these trucks have been in the business a long time. Each of these drivers going to be looking for any advantage they can get here. It's going to be a close race, that's for sure. The stage is set now as they're about to go green. Both trucks really fast off the line, and I think Bigfoot is too fast. He is disqualified. Samson just needs to finish. We have a red light situation with Bigfoot. Samson catches a break. He's been kind of snake bit, but this time it works in his favor.
So Samson having some trouble earlier on in the season, not able to be in that winner's bracket. Now he gets a chance to do that as we take a look at the start cam one more time. Both drivers off and running very quick, but like you mentioned, as we watch Samson here, I think Bigfoot right there, the time on the ground while Samson was up in the air, that I believe is where the race was won, aside from the red line.
Look at this reaction time, 0.006 seconds. Patrick was on it, and Bigfoot was just a hair fast. It doesn't get any better than that as far as reaction time. Less than 100th of a second.
You know, and he almost had to be on it before the light went green. Samson and Iron Outlaw going to go up against each other in semifinals. Iron Outlaw again comes back as the fast loser. So let's move on to semifinal action.
Yeah, worked for Lindsey Wink in round 9. He came back as fast loser and won it. He also won obstacle course racing, so he's had a good run here in Cottage Grove, Oregon. Right now we see Jimmy Cretin in the Bounty Hunter getting ready to battle Kelvin Raymer in Natural High. Raymer faster off the line. He's got a good run here. Let's hope he didn't red light. Let's see. No indication yet. Natural High gets across the line, 5.877, sends Bounty Hunter home. That's a bit of a surprise.
Oh my goodness, Natural High going to the big show. And for Kelvin Raymer, that is going to be a first here in 2006 MOD action. Kelvin Raymer puts down a very, very fast truck. And like we were talking in round number 9 and earlier in this round, he has got that truck dialed in. Look at that, a .073 reaction time. Kelvin Raymer has actually shown these guys that he means business, Wade.
Yeah, he just beat Cretin off the line. That race was decided right at the green, so Natural High is making the finals. He's going to do battle with either Dan Patrick or Lindsey Wink and Iron Outlaw. We move to that semifinal line round right now. There's Lindsey Wink and Iron Outlaw. Beautiful paint job on that truck. Biggest arms in the business there for Patrick on the Samson machine. This could be anybody's race, but based on what we've seen so far here in Oregon, Lindsey Wink has been hot. Let's see what he can do. He's got a lead here. It looks like he's going to get home. He does. 5.846, and Lindsey Wink advances. Dan Patrick going home disappointed.
And that's got to be one of the slower times that we've seen Patrick put out here in Cottage Grove, Oregon with a 6.192. Unfortunately, I just don't think he got it dialed in after he came off the jump. Lindsey Wink, of course, capitalizing on that one more time, coming back as the fast loser. Now all he's got to do is win the final round. And Frank, what do you think about that?
Oh, I don't know. Here it goes. There's going to be a banquet at the end of the year, and there's going to be a fast loser trophy, and here comes Lindsey Wink to see if he can pull it off again. It's amazing what this guy can do with a truck.
So your final is set. It'll be Natural High against Iron Outlaw coming at you after these words. Monsters of Destruction on the Outdoor Channel is brought to you by Monster Jerky, the official beef jerky of Monsters of Destruction, and by Monstrous Displays, the nationwide leader in affordable monster truck displays.
Are you ready to put the pedal to the metal and experience amazing action and extreme horsepower? Monsters of Destruction will give you both. Feel your need for obstacle racing, straight line drag, and freestyle mayhem. For out of control, octane burning entertainment, don't miss Monsters of Destruction every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. right here on the Outdoor Channel.
Have you ever wondered what it takes to properly manage your local wildlife and natural resources? Then
Welcome back to round 10 of Monsters of Destruction here on the Outdoor Channel. Wade Sherman, Kevin Hynes, and Frank Scatini with you. The stage is set for our finals in straight line drag competition. It's Natural High going up against Iron Outlaw. There's Lindsey Wink. He won round 9, both divisions, straight line and obstacle. Natural High, his first time in the finals, I can remember.
That's right. Natural High is running quite a bit smaller motor. I'd have to say on paper he's got the disadvantage here. Wink has got the experience as well as the truck. And let's take a look as they come across the line. It looks like Lindsey, once again, coming back as a fast loser. Wink is going to take it with a 5.567, Wade.
Yeah, and Kelvin Raymer had trouble staying in his lane that time, Frank. I don't know what it was, but and he drifted left, then he drifted right.
He still had a pretty good time after all that drifting and fading. And again, Lindsey just puts on a show every time, pro all out.
There we see it, Iron Outlaws. We take a look at the replay, just nothing but business from start to finish. This guy is out here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to win. Unfortunately, he's not able to do it in the first round of heats, but he always comes back as a fast loser, at least so far in MOD action. There you see Raymer getting a little bit sideways, and I think that cost him the race.
So tonight's results, Wink on top, like we discussed, followed by Kelvin Raymer in Natural High, Jimmy Cretin and Bounty Hunter, Dan Patrick and Samson, Rick Swanson in Obsession was fifth, and Dave Harkey and Bigfoot dead last, which is a big shock. Your standings after 10 rounds look like this. Dan Patrick takes the lead by 2 points over Rick Swanson in Obsession. Craig Christensen falls to third. Maybe he should have been here. Dan Runty and Bigfoot is fourth. Rounding out the top 10, it's Paul Jensen, Lindsey Wink, Jimmy Cretin, Dave Harkey, and Rick Long.
Now we're down here with Kelvin Raymer of the Natural High. Kelvin, your first time out here in the finals so far this year. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're really glad to be here. I want to thank Sam Sturgis, who's helped me along the years as how to drive and taught me a lot. And he's part of the reason I'm out here and doing so well.
Now, notice that you've got on the truck, we've talked about this in prior rounds, but I want you to tell the crowd here what living the dream means for you in the Natural High.
Well, my family and I have tried several times to build a truck, and then in the last 7 years we put this truck together, saving and building and saving and building. And we have a big trunking company. We're able to sell off half of it. Now we're able to spend a lot of time out on the road as a whole family and go to these events and have the fun here. And in between the events, we stop at parks and different places, and it's a dream.
All right, well, Kelvin, although second place is what's in your store for you out here tonight, second place is great for you, and congratulations. It's great to have you out here.
Thank you. Yeah, second place is just a stepping stone to first.
All right, Lindsey, I believe that is all yours. You've earned it out here tonight. You're going home with the first place for Straight Line Drags once again for a second night in a row. It's got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels great. You know, at the same time, I got Checker Shucks Craig and Auto Parts behind me, a huge transmission. They got me a solid truck. I got Jimmy Cretin telling me, how to run this thing down the way as fast as I can. And, we got some phenomenal trucks here, right here in Cottage Grove. It's pretty cool to have such a top lineup of trucks. And we got Monsters of Destruction filming it. It's going to be on be on TV in a couple weeks. It's a great exposure for me and the team.
That's right, and a great turnaround for you as well. You come out here, you come back both nights in a row as the fast loser and put you up in the winning bracket. That's got to be great.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird feeling every time I go back. I scratch my head. I'm really sucking today, and then I can get my next pass under my wing. And the more confident I get, it seems the faster I go. And things just worked in my favor tonight. There were some good trucks, there were some good passes, and I'm just happy to be here in Cottage Grove, putting on a show for these fine folks.
Well, Lindsey, we're great to have you out here, and pleasure to see the Iron Outlaw back in the winner's circle. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So another great win from Lindsey Wink in Straight Line Drags. He sweeps both rounds in Straight Line here in Cottage Grove, Oregon. Wins round 9, wins round 10. We're going obstacle course racing. Our first matchup, Jimmy Cretin and Bounty Hunter, Lindsey Wink and Iron Outlaw.
Now, one observation that I want to make here is the track is tuned down just a little bit from what it was out here in round number 9. And look at this, the drivers are going all out. And look at Bounty Hunter, he's all out. But Iron Outlaw hitting the pole, that is going to cost him a 2-second penalty. Let's see as they come back around. He's got to beat him by 2 seconds. It's not going to happen. Bounty Hunter is just going to take this one home, Wade.
Yes, he is. His time 18:012. Add the penalty to Iron Outlaw. Gets him up around 21 seconds. But what I noticed most in that race was the amount of air both trucks are getting over that first obstacle.
Man, that first roller is a little bit more shallow than it was the first time around. Frank, what kind of a difference is that going to make in how these guys attack this track?
Well, I really love the way Lindsey tried rolling in slow and then just doubling all the way out, and it just did. It took him a little bit sideways. He ended up hitting that pole for the penalty, so he just ran the rest of the race. It's finally good to see Jimmy not get edged out. He's been getting edged out here and there. He's a top competitor, and he's just not been to the finals. This might be his run.
Jimmy Cretin a little quicker off the green there, a 0.20 reaction time. Lindsey Wink pretty slow, really, at 0.427. But this race, there were other issues for Iron Outlaw.
That's right, making it very difficult. Now, that 2-second penalty, if any other driver incurs that over the course of the afternoon, it might make a little bit of difference as far as who comes back as fast loser. But if everybody qualifies cleanly when they come out here for heat race action, that's going to put Lindsey Wink out of the running for the fast loser category like we usually see.
As we mentioned, he won both events, straight line and obstacle in round 9. Repeat in jeopardy here in round 10. Bounty Hunter advances. We'll be back with Obsession and Natural High after this. Kevin Hynes and Frank Scattini with you from Cottage Grove, Oregon, here on MOD. This is round number 10. Rick Swanson preparing to race against Kelvin Raymer in Natural High. This is heat number 2 of obstacle course racing. A toned down track here for round 10. Pretty interesting race in the first race. They go green. It looks like Obsession has the advantage, but look at the air there from Kelvin Raymer as they round the pole. This could be anybody's race.
Oh my goodness, Natural High launching, and it looks like he might have a vehicle problem, but look at Obsession. He's going to take the pole out on his way back around, but I don't think that's going to matter. That 2-second penalty is not going to make a difference. Kelvin Raymer looks like he has a problem with the truck out there.
Yeah, we're hearing it's an electrical problem, but he's got it refired now, and he is going to finish this race. Leave it to Kelvin to stick with it. That shows the character of the driver, but just when your motor goes out on you, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of fixing that, and you just hope that it refires back up. What are some of the things that these drivers can experience out there, Frank, that might shut them down in the hard?
Well, if you saw the way he comes up in the air on this tough landing here, he gets a big boost in the back. It might have just been a gulp of air and, air bypassing through the fuel and just cutting the motor, and Rick has to go by. Of course, Rick hit the pole, but then again, there was not enough room for Rick to go through without hitting the pole.
That's very true. So a great win by Rick Swanson in Obsession. Unfortunately, I think he would rather that Kelvin Raymer was actually able to race him all the way till the very end. But nonetheless, winning is winning.
No, he wouldn't. I know Rick. And when Rick advances, Rick is happy. He doesn't care how.
That's right. It's all good. It's all about the win. And right here, Natural High, unfortunately, is going to cost himself the race with that one right there. Obsession's going to come around the inside, pole or no pole. Rick Swanson in the Obsession is going to advance into semifinal action.
So one heat remaining as you look at the reaction times before we set up the next heat. Obsession faster off the line with a .374 reaction time. There you get a look inside that Natural High body. Very unique body, the only one of its type on the circuit. That Chevy SSR looks pretty sweet as they come to the finish there in heat number 2. I'm ready for heat number 3, which will be Samson and Bigfoot, a rematch of what we saw in round number 9. And Bigfoot really has some work to do. He lost both times.
That's right. Hartke was a little bit under the pace this last time around, as we saw out here in round number 9. Now, Dan Patrick in the Samson, of course, a very fast truck. He likes to open that Hemi up that he's got underneath the hood. Now we're going to get a chance to let these two drivers go green against each other as they come out on the obstacle course. And look at this. Patrick is going to try and take a launch. Oh, he catches the rear tires, almost goes over there. Meanwhile, Bigfoot is running over the pole. So both drivers having some difficulty out here as they come back around. Looks like they're coming to the final stretch here. Samson having trouble keeping it straight. Hartke and the Bigfoot is going to cross the line first. However, with that 2-second penalty, Bigfoot is going to have to succumb to Samson's power with a 19.186 for Dan Patrick and Samson.
Well, we can see here on the replay, Dan gets a great jump off the line, and then you see him come up short on the landing, the backside here, and get the big kick. But with Dan's rear cantilever suspension, which we've seen before featured, just soaks it up clean, nice turn, doesn't have to wait for Bigfoot, and then just finishes up. And then with Bigfoot's penalty, Dan takes the win here.
So Dan Patrick and Samson advances. Looks like Bigfoot is going to be coming back, though, as fast loser. An important event. It's just a carbon copy of round 9, so Bigfoot not out of this thing yet.
You know what's even better about that? Samson and Bigfoot are going to face each other again in the semifinals, so we're going to see a repeat of this race right here, this matchup. They're going to do it all over again.
Here we go on board now with Dave Hartke. He's getting some punishment in there, Frank.
Yeah, it's like a typical run, but that Bigfoot truck set up. If it wasn't set up as well as it was, he'd really be hurt.
So there's your brackets. Bounty Hunter will go up against Rick Swanson in the Obsession. Samson and Bigfoot, who comes back as fast loser. Let's go to semifinal number 1 now. Here's Jimmy Cretan in the Bounty Hunter, getting set to do battle with Rick Swanson. Rick is always around the finals, but rarely in it. Maybe this is his chance.
It very well may be. Rick Swanson in the Obsession has done some great training here recently. Is really on the ball coming out here to obstacle course racing. But look at this, Bounty Hunter is already quite a ways out there.
There's a turning pole down. There's going to be a penalty for Swanson. It's all over if Bounty Hunter can keep it going. Sorry, Kevin, but the penalty there just kills this run for Swanson.
Absolutely. You know, there's no question about it. As soon as that pole goes down, unless there's a 2-second variance there between our two drivers, it's a no-brainer. All the driver has to do is finish the race, and that is absolutely fine. Let's take one more look at the replay. Look at the jump that Bounty Hunter gets off of the line. Not only did Rick Swanson hit the pole when they're coming into this corner, but I think Cretin had him beat all the way around.
Yeah, it was a good half a second off the line there on the advantage for Cretin. Cretin ran a clean race, and he's going to the finals because of it.
And, you know, taking one more look at that replay there, as they came around the corner, it looked like Cretin tagged his brakes. I saw his front end drop there, as it looks like he had to slow down for Obsession. Now, whether or not that was because he hit the pole, let's take one look at it right here. And we're not going to get to see Cretin that time around, but it looked like he had to slow down. So whether or not the pole was hit or not, Rick Swanson and Obsession very well may have obtained a penalty either way, but the pole pretty much solved that problem.
As we suspected, the reaction time really strong for Bounty Hunter, 0.084 seconds. Obsession about a half a second slow.
That's right. So Rick sleeping a little bit on the light there. That's going to cost him the race this time around. So here's our board standings. Bounty Hunter advancing to the final. Our next semifinal, Samson and Bigfoot. We'll be right back.
Monsters of Destruction on the Outdoor Channel is brought to you by AmeriGas, America's propane company. Back with more after these words.
In 1970 and 71, Johnny Lightning won back-to-back Indy 500 races. Johnny's back. All the classics you remember in 100% real metal, the ultimate in authentic replicas. And the triumphant return of Johnny Lightning Toys, monster trucks loaded with play features, exclusive Super Bounce tires, real working suspension, and exploding bodies. Johnny Lightning's back, and he beats them all.
And look at this, Patrick attacks it. Look at the roll. Patrick almost goes over there. He's clear out on the outside of the infield. That very well may cost him this race, Wade.
But he's got it gathered back up now, and he's actually charging to the lead. A great recovery here for Dan Patrick, who almost flips the truck and comes back to win. 18-3-4-7, and a Cinderella story there. What a comeback for Dan Patrick.
Man, oh man. Let's take one more look at the replay. This time around, both drivers off the line. Patrick actually a little bit behind, but as they come up to this roller, you know, what's going through his mind, Frank, as he comes up in the air?
I'm bowing right now. That's some driving skill at the ultimate right there. His suspension, like I said before, is superior to others, and it starts driving right there. He didn't even think about the save. He just saved it naturally and then went out and won the race.
I wonder if Bigfoot let off a little bit, thinking that Samson might be out of it, just tried to keep it clean and avoid penalties, and maybe didn't give it his all here. It's pretty good time, so maybe, I don't know if that's the case or not.
Yeah, I don't know, but, whether it be old school or not, Dan Patrick's suspension has always worked well for him. The other drivers go into the standardized shocks. Patrick stays with the cantilever style of suspension, and, it just seems to work really well for him. Right there proving that he can drive the truck with everything he's got on it and drive it like a pro.
The reaction times were pretty even. Just a great recovery on the part of Dan Patrick. Very impressive driving, so that sets up our final. It'll be Jimmy Cretin and Bounty Hunter going up against Dan Patrick and Samson.
Now here they come to the line. This is going to be a very interesting race. Cretin now into the finals for the first time in the MOD season. His second round out, joining us here for round 10 in Cottage Grove. Dan Patrick and Samson, both drivers are staged and ready to go. Now let's see if Patrick is going to attack that jump a second time after that huge bobble in the last time. No, he's going to go easy. Both drivers are going to launch across, coming back around the corner. Nobody's got to slow down. It's clean so far. Patrick and Samson looks like he's set up a little bit quicker as they come across. Here they go. It's going to come down to the final straight. Both drivers wheels up, and it looks like Cretin and the Bounty Hunter is going to take it.
And too much air for Patrick over that last tabletop. 2/10 of extra hang time, and that's the difference in the race. Dan Patrick spent too much time in the air, not enough time on the ground.
I almost called it earlier. I was saying something about Cretin just getting edged out in these earlier rounds and all that. And look at this concentration by Jimmy here. He puts a clean run. He goes out wide and sets up real clean for the finish, and he just takes out Dan. They both had an excellent run. Cretin just had one a little bit better.
So Jimmy Cretin breaks the spell of Lindsey Wink and Iron Outlaw, who had won every category in every race, both round 9 and 10 here in Cottage Grove. And now his teammate Jimmy Cretin breaks that spell, and he takes obstacle course racing here in round 10. So let's look at our final results in obstacle course racing here in round number 10. First place, Jimmy Cretin in the Bounty Hunter, followed by Dan Patrick in Samson, Dave Harkey in Bigfoot, Rick Swanson in the Obsession, Lindsey Wink in Iron Outlaw. And sixth place truck, Kelvin Raymer in Natural High. Your season standings through 10 rounds, Rick Swanson maintains the lead in the Obsession truck, Dan Patrick second in Samson, Craig Christensen in Dragon Slayer third, Dan Runty in Bigfoot fourth, Paul Jensen in Spider-Man fifth. Rounding out the top 10, it's Kelvin Raymer in Natural High, Jimmy Cretin in Bounty Hunter, Rick Long in Bigfoot, Lindsey Wink in Iron Outlaw, and Dave Harkey also in Bigfoot. Welcome back to round 10 of Monsters of Destruction action on the Outdoor Channel. We've just seen one heck of an obstacle course final. We're going to talk to both drivers. Send it down to Kevin.
All right, down here now with Dan Patrick from Samson. Dan, you came out. I don't know what happened in the semifinals, man. You launched the truck out there. You did the back end wheelie. What was going on?
My cup holder, the drink fell out, and I was reaching for it, and things got out of hand. No, but they go, "Oh, hit the hill a little harder. I think you can hit the hill harder." Well, I did. So we had a good night and a couple good saves. So, folks, you saw me freestyle early. So. But no, it was a great night. You know, we've had a good run, and man, I have no problem losing to Jimmy. He's one of my best customers, and he does a lot of R&D. And I mean, the guy's a champ. You know, so he's hard to beat.
Well, Dan, a great job out here tonight. You guys were really close coming down to the line there. Of course, the corner always a deciding factor, and you put up a great fight. And second place, congratulations tonight.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot to Cottage Grove.
All right, Jimmy, I believe that is yours. And congratulations on a win well done tonight.
Oh, you know what? I think the real winners is Cottage Grove, Oregon tonight. I tell you, MOD have brought a great show here. The motorcycle jumpers are great. The monster trucks are out there doing it for you. And I want to say something about Dan. Dan builds almost every part on my truck, and he also builds about every part on the Outlaw truck. So, you know, Dan has 3 trucks in the top 3 here. So my hat's off to him, and we've been doing business with him forever, and he's come a long way. So I'd like to see another hand for him. He come clear from Ohio to be here tonight. I decided, you know, I haven't been doing worth the darn here in the last, from yesterday and earlier today, and I figured I'd step out and help my teammate out a little bit.
Well, Jimmy, it worked well for you. You know, he came back as a fast loser, obviously took straight line drags. Now you as a teammate are able to take the obstacle course racing, so you guys both go home winners out here tonight.
Well, you know, it's hard to live with him when he's got 4 of these. I can at least shove one back in his face. So, you know, Lindsey's he's the story this year, the storyline. If you've been watching any kind of monster trucks, Lindsey's won about every monster truck show this year. So, and there's more he's won that you haven't even seen. So, I mean, he just made a mistake and hit that pull, or he'd have been right here in the finals.
Well, Jimmy, nonetheless, you're out here. You're able to go home with a trophy and some bragging rights out here tonight for round number 10. So congratulations on your CSK truck win.
You know, thanks. We couldn't do it without Checker Shucks and Cragen. Huge performance. And, you know, we're not done yet. We got some freestyling to do.
All right, and there you have it. Jimmy, thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me here, Cottage Grove.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for freestyle. First truck out of the gate is Lindsey Wink in Iron Outlaw, and he should put on some show, guys.
That's right. So, Frank, when you come out for freestyle after having, you know, a tough 2 rounds here in Cottage Grove, you beat your truck up a little bit, you're a little bit tired. What goes through your mind when you're out there?
It's just your time to put on the show. There's no pressure. You get to do what you want. It's called freestyle. You get to do whatever you want for the crowd. No matter what you do, the crowd's going to love you.
Looks like they added some vehicles to crush here in freestyle, so we should see some bonus crushing action here. So far, Iron Outlaw still kind of trying to find his way here, but we've got about a minute and a half left. He's going to get some big air before this one's all over.
And there we see the inside of the truck. You can see all the bouncing that goes on with these drivers in their seats. You know, Lindsey taking a huge shot at that. Cars right there. That's a really, really big stack that they put out here for round number 10. They had some extra cars in the back, and they said, you know what, we're going to throw them out there on a pile and let these drivers go at it.
And he went after him, and he got a lot of air right there into a nice slap wheelie as we approach a minute to go in this freestyle run. Some major distance right there for Lindsey Wink. Maybe he's going to go into a donut here. I think he's testing the surface a little bit, see what kind of traction he can get. Setting up his next move on the gas, tries to stand it on the tailgate, kind of doesn't complete that one, comes down on the stack, mid-stack, into the next one.
Huge jump.
Way, way far on that one. That was cool.
He's going to have to shut it down before he hits the wall, and that looks like it's going to do it for Lindsey Wink. Now, let's go back and take a look at the replay there. The front tires are way up in the air, looking at nothing but sky. Coming back around, a huge jump right there by Wink. And look at the sparks fly as he hits the brakes, trying to shut it down before the wall.
I think we had a cameraman that might need a change of clothes. That was pretty close right there.
And you know that he left the camera and took a run for it.
Here's Dave Harkey in Bigfoot now. Not too impressive in freestyle in round 9. Let's see if he can step it up here in round 10. Approaches that big van stack, thinks better of it, turns to the inside, takes the smaller jump into a slap wheelie. That's a nice one there. Carries it for some good distance.
You know, that's a little tougher in this Bigfoot truck with the suspension set up more to absorb a lot of the bumps. It's tougher for him to get that truck up in the air. Now, the truck has a lot of specialties on it. They run the ZF axles, which you don't see any other trucks out there so far on the circuit that have run the ZF axles.
You have I know, we're so special, you know. They are really expensive, great axles, and they can take a lot of fun.
This Bigfoot truck set up for speed and distance. Some of you may have seen Bigfoot's famous jump. Clears a 747 in the air. Fly. And he's going to get some distance here tonight before it's all over.
Yeah, that's where those ZF axles kick in. Nobody can clear a 747 with those bolt together axles. They would have came apart. Bigfoot landed it. This is a special truck and a special driver. Harkey's been out for a long time.
Well, Harkey has proven himself out there tonight. So far, he's got a little bit better freestyle run than what we saw out here in round number 9. The 30-year legacy of Bigfoot now on the infield in Cottage Grove, Oregon. It's round 10, and they're a huge launch over the cars. That's a lot bigger than it looks out there, Wade.
Yeah, somebody in Houston asked what that was. Showed up on radar. He was way up there.
All right, so Harkey coming back around. There you see a little bit of the POV cam on the inside of the cab. Now let's take a look as he launches that tabletop. Now that has been the nemesis for these drivers all night long. Now they're actually able to have a little bit of fun with it and launch the truck off. Let's take a look at some replay action here. There, Harkey and the Bigfoot taking a little bit of the slap wheelie there, and that was a great wheelie for the Bigfoot truck like we were talking about earlier, Wade.
Yeah, he looked pretty good here tonight. Harkey was really trying to give these Cottage Grove fans a show, and from the sounds of their applause, I think they like it.
They're getting making a lot of noise for him out there, and we'll be right back.
In 1970 and 71, Johnny Light.
Welcome back to MOD Freestyle. Still to come. Here comes Rick Swanson, and he's got a lot of speed. He's going to do some damage here in freestyle for sure, guys.
You know, that's awful tough on your truck out there, isn't it, Frank, when you run full speed for a long period of time?
Well, actually, for some reason, I don't know how Rick does it. This guy will freestyle for 3 hours. He blows steam from their number training fluid out the bottom, but he still just keeps going and flying. You gotta kill this guy, or else he'll just freestyle on that.
He's pretty good with the donuts, too. Let's see if he can get one of those hooked up here tonight in Cottage Grove. Still kind of checking out the lay of the land here. He's taking a look at that big van stack in the center. But first, this obstacle, up and over he goes. Still kind of preparing, hits the gas there, gets a lot of distance, and bounces that landing. That was pretty cool.
We're trying to get dialed in a little bit out here. Now, one comment I do want to make about the track surface out here, there is quite a bit of impact out here. It's a little bit more difficult. Here you see Swanson getting into it.
Donut Man. I call him Donut Man. I love donuts. He's getting better and better at it.
I mean, you saw that from inside the cab of that Obsession truck. You get dizzy when you're going around like that?
Actually, you get lost. You really get disoriented. And all you do is maybe sometimes see red lights flashing on as you can see when you go around. You can sometimes see lights flashing. Low oil pressure is a great thing. Training, hate donuts, top training. Once you put most of your mileage on the transmission, it's doing donuts.
Some pretty nice moves from Swanson here. He is the leader in freestyle as far as I'm concerned. And responding some big air right there. Pretty good run here for the Obsession machine.
New colors on his truck. It's so good, especially I just saw that when he was vertical like that. A new painted bright.
Right after round number 2, they took the truck, they got the frame painted, they got the shocks done. You know, everything is really well put together on Rick's truck. The new FabTech sponsorship has really proven well for him so far out there this year. Now, Rick, coming back around, we saw that he did one complete good donut, a second half a donut, I guess is what it was. Since the other one got a big air right there by Swanson, launching the truck into space. Oh my goodness, let's take another look at this, Wade.
Yeah, I think he shut it down because he was starting to spit a lot of fluid out of the rear of that truck. It was time to shut it down, but some great moves as you look on board with Swanson. His neck taking some punishment there, really bobbing around inside the cab. He's centered in the middle of that truck. You would expect him maybe to be more to the right, but he's right in the center, and he's getting it done here tonight in Cottage Grove.
You know, I kind of wonder why some of these guys aren't sponsored by Bayer or Advil, because they just take a huge beating inside these trucks out there. You know they've got to just be punishing their bodies. Is that right, Frank?
Rick likes to lead.
Here comes Kelvin Raymer and the natural high. We'll just leave that one alone. I don't even want to know. But Kelvin Raymer, he is set up for freestyle. He's got that wheelie bar on the back of this SSR body. Let's see what he can do here in freestyle, Cottage Grove, Oregon, round 10, Monsters of Destruction action.
You know, he's got to be pumped up a little bit after, you know, he came out and did really, really well in the straight line drags. Look at that, a huge wheelie by Raymer, burying the back into that truck in the dirt. Now, how hard is it to actually carry a wheelie like that, Frank?
I don't know. My truck, I've only done one wheelie ever, and it was the best thing ever. And I did a nice slow wheelie all the way across the stadium, and I wanted to keep going. It's so much fun. As you saw, Kelvin was looking up. That's the first time I've ever seen an in-cab camera during a wheelie myself.
He's got a nice donut going here, a no-hander.
Look at that. Kelvin Raymer is all about the fun out here in Cottage Grove, Oregon. The fans are going crazy. We can hardly hear.
That's impossible. How do you maintain a donut with no hand?
Definitely not a driving with your knee trick. And there you see another great wheelie coming back across the stadium. Raymer is out here. I would say that so far, Raymer by far has the freestyle favorite out here tonight for round number 10.
I'm still shaking my head about this no-handed donut. That I've never seen anything like it. I probably won't see anything like it again. And it was just amazing.
You know, and one of the great things about this is you get the POV camera inside the cab there. We would have never known that was a no-handed donut without that camera. Here he goes, a huge jump back into a wheelie again. Raymer is just unstoppable out here. He's got gas flying out of the tank and everything. Is that what that is?
Pretty great run here for Kelvin Raymer. He is putting on a show. If there was a check for freestyle, he would be taking it home tonight, that's for sure. He is going to be tough to beat. This is probably the freestyle run of the year in MOD action.
I would have to give it that. You know, this has been great. Watching Kelvin Raymer come out here, he's impressing the fans. He's impressing all of us up here in the booth. You know, we get to see this guy all the time. And he comes out here and he has just laid it out here in Cottage Grove. There's the no-hander donut we were watching. He's got both hands out. Look at that right there. That is the beautiful shot right there.
Can't be done.
I agree with you. Read the swimsuit.
Oh, man, and great freestyle action. More to come. We'll be right back after these words.
Do you or someone you love make too many trips to them for 30 days? All you pay is shipping and handling.
Welcome back to Monsters of Destruction on the Outdoor Channel. This is round 10 of Cottage Grove, Oregon competition. A couple of trucks left in freestyle, but the crowd still buzzing over the no-handed donut by Kelvin Raymer. I don't think we're ever going to see something like that again.
That was just incredible. You know, we were talking about it over commercial break there, and never seen anything like it. Probably won't see it again unless Kelvin Raymer does it. But, you know, frankly, we're talking to you about how he locked the rear steering. How do you do that out there?
Well, you got a choice. You can switch your rear steering to automatically center most of the time for racing, and then you're going to freestyle. Sometimes we let it on the manual rear steering. So you could have turned the steering all the way one side, and then just locked, like you said, locked his front wheel with his knee, and then put both hands out both sides of the truck. Amazing.
He's kind of stolen a little bit of the thunder from Jimmy Cretin here in the Bounty Hunter, but he got things started with a nice slap wheelie, carried it pretty much the length of the arena floor. He's getting some good air here. But Bounty Hunter just has a very tough act to follow after what Kelvin Raymer did in Natural High. But if anybody can do it, Jimmy Cretin can do it.
That's right. This Bounty Hunter truck is very well put together. Jimmy's been around the industry for a long time, does that cycle. And look at that huge jump, about 20 feet of air underneath that truck.
And all four wheels off the ground on the landing. It just sort of bounced right back up there.
Man, it was... Jeez, it was like playing with a radio-controlled car. You just launch it without any equivocations whatsoever. But Look at him. He's stopping in front of the crowd right now. I wonder if he's going to... Oh, he's going over backwards. He's going to launch it backwards over the cars, something that we have not seen yet this year in MOD action. Now, I wonder if he's going to give us that cyclone. It looks like he might be setting up for it here, Wade.
There it is, that left front off the ground. Lots of speed. The cyclone from Jimmy Creighton. This is always a special move. Dust is flying. The crowd is going wild. You gotta like that. Oh, no, I couldn't see.
Don't think going that fast you'd be able to take him off, but you never know. Jimmy Creighton is a very, very good, well-versed driver, good at freestyle, good at racing, good at everything, and this Cottage Grove crowd loves him right now.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at his hands because I was looking through my dictionary trying to figure out what equivocation means.
Consequences.
Look at the air right there for Jimmy Creighton. He's flying over that obstacle, a lot of distance right here. This has just been a very special night of freestyle all around.
And here we go, Bounty Hunter just about ready to finish up his run. That Checker Shucks Cragen truck coming out and making a great show. Tough act to follow after Kelvin Raymer in the natural high. A huge jump right there. Creighton again, all four wheels clearing the entire stack. And let's take one more look at this, Wade.
Comes out strong right here. Decent air. He had the cyclone, which I think was the move of the night, as we get one more look at that major air right there. What a night of racing from Cottage Grove, Oregon. Round 10 is in the books. Stay tuned for round 11. For Frank Scattini and Kevin Hynes, this is Wade Sherman saying tune in next time to Monsters of Destruction.